There's a quote that I love from Russell Brunson who says, if you do one webinar a week, your business will never be the same. And yet, most people treat their webinars like a one-time experiment instead of a real growth strategy. They actually host one thing and it flops, or they try to do a live event and they decide webinars just don't work. But today's guest, I'm so excited to bring up my friend here because she is the real one. And I'm super excited because the conversation that we're going to have today is with DeKesha Williams, better known as the webinar queen. DeKesha helps coaches, consultants, and experts turn webinars into real enrollment systems, not just presentations and slides, the PowerPoint by death, and hope that it actually sticks. She brings a rare mix of strategy, execution to the table with an MBA and years of leadership and operational experience. She's known for helping business owners build predictable revenue using webinars that are intentional, repeatable, and built to convert. So if you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly enroll clients from webinars while others struggle to get traction, this episode is for you. Let's dive in. DeKesha Williams.
Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for having me here. I love it.
Yes, the webinar queen. So tell us a little bit more. How did you get into webinars?
Oh boy. Let's go back a little bit. So I was tapped on my shoulder right around 2014 to work with a team that was based out of Maryland. And they wanted me to come in and teach their clients who were paying $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. They wanted me to teach their clients how to make $100,000 from webinars. Mind you, I'm just getting into this space. I had no idea what a webinar was, for that matter, let alone how to monetize it. So the way that my level of integrity is set up, I'm like, I can't be teaching nobody anything that I haven't done. So here's what happened. There was a couple of us on the team. And so they challenged us to do 8 webinars in 30 days. 8 webinars in 30 days. And sure enough, I generated $15,000 in commission in 21 days. That's when I realized, oh, wait, this actually might work. Because not only were we building like this audience of people that couldn't wait to hear what we were teaching, we were building our email list. We were getting people to have sales conversations. Now, mind you, I'm all new to this. This 2014, okay? So this is like new to me. Like people are like in my DM, they're commenting on Google Hangouts. I'm dating myself, okay? And so from then, fast forward, after we implemented that for a while, 2018, I created my very first course called the Webinar Success Blueprint. And that was my first 10K launch.
Awesome.
And here we are.
Super excited.
Here we are.
Great. So what do you think? So with all the webinars, I mean, like I said, you hit it on the nail. Like you did 2 videos a week, or at least within, every week for 30 days for that first experiment. What are some of the biggest mistakes that you see people now making with webinars that keeps them from actually converting attendees into clients?
One of the biggest mistakes that I see now is that a lot of people think that it's a one and done thing. A lot of people, and I heard you say this earlier, but we just talked about this on a webinar the other day. And you can't, when it comes to a webinar, this is a platform that has to be optimized. Okay. So a lot of times, number one, the messaging is going to be off. And they try to make these cute titles that don't attract their audience. The title is like, what are you really talking about? So the title is very important because that's your messaging, and that's how you attract clients. And then the other thing is, people will do a webinar like once or twice, and they're like, oh, well, no one showed up. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, how did you market? Like, and did you use paid advertising? Did you use organic advertising? How long has these people been in your sales cycle? Like we did one yesterday. We had I did the numbers, a 37% show rate, which is pretty good. and a 7% close rate. We had people from my email list, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Guess who purchased? Somebody that was already on my email list. Right? And I even noticed that last year. Like we did workshops, the same thing, just a 2-day extended webinar. And the people that purchased, they either heard me on somebody else's platform, and then they came into my ecosystem, and I use the webinar as a conversion mechanism. So people don't realize that we have to nurture these relationships, right? We have to nurture these relationships, especially when you are selling a higher ticket offer. It's different when you're selling something for $47, $97, maybe even $197. Right. But when you're selling $6,500 and $15,000 and $20,000, right, you have to build a relationship.
Oh, yes.
People are not willing to build a relationship.
Yes.
They just want it to work overnight. No, it doesn't. Right.
Oh, man, it just didn't work. Oh, well, how many times did you do it? How many times did you follow up? It's more than just, we need to be in follow-up mode. Like it's more than, they used to say like at least 7 times before they buy it. Now I think it's double that.
It's more. Yeah. It's definitely more like 11 touch points. And even to your point, like we set up this morning, the automations to go out based on the people that showed up and did not buy, the people that did not show up and they registered. So we have a different set of emails to market to those individuals. And listen, I've been in this space since 2014, 2013. I'm still sending DMs using paid ads, using organic marketing to get people on my list.
Right.
Exactly. I'm still having coffee chats. I'm doing all the things. You have to.
You have to. Yeah, I literally closed a 5-figure deal yesterday where the guy, I had a call with him a year and a half ago. Are you guys in here for the long-term game? Long-term game.
I'm trying to. Yes. Yeah. And even the person that just purchased, one of the individuals that purchased, this is their second purchase from me. So they're a repeat buyer.
Loyal.
You see what I mean? And it's one of the things that, and so this is another thing I talked about yesterday too, is you got to have the right message.
The buyer is a buyer.
But you have to have the right message, the right offer at the right time.
I just talked about that. The order. It's not what you do. It's the order you do it in.
So you can have your same messaging, but people are going to consistently show up. And it may be the right time for you. It may not be the right time for me, and vice versa. Or they might not be able to do the full mastermind, but they can come and do a 2-day intensive. It's a matter of positioning the right offer in front of the right person at the right time.
Exactly.
So you can't stop. And that's the thing about it, is I try to teach people that every time that you do it, you look at the data. It's a data building machine. So what did I just tell you? As soon as our webinar was over, I went in, I said, these are how many people registered. This is how many people showed up. I was like, all right, so, and I need to know where they're coming from. Are they coming from LinkedIn? Are they coming from Facebook? Are they coming from my email list? Like, it's data. The more you do it, the more data you get. Like, I don't have an MBA for no reason. I analyze. I analyze everything. That's what it's all about.
Awesome. Yes. And data speaks for itself. Just talking to one of my besties, and it's taken off on Instagram. So do more of that, Part. Well, and if you didn't do the data, you wouldn't know. You'd be just throwing things out on the wall. Yeah.
And that's what data, a lot of people don't understand that data tells the story. And if you collect the data, you'll be able to read the story. But if you don't do it enough, you're not collecting enough data, you're not developing a story. Ooh, that's a nugget. Yes.
You're not collecting enough data, you're not developing the story. Got it. So if someone's not doing webinars at all, and what would actually make sense for someone to be like, okay, yes, I should, start this venture or this event. This is really a different style of an event to convert leads into. What would be a reason why someone should do that?
If they are in a position where they're trying to scale.
Mhm.
So for my newbies that are just kind of starting out, they do webinars, and I tell them to do a webinar. I just have them do their call to action is to schedule a conversation because they have to get used to learning how to sell. Most of them don't know how to sell.
Right.
So I'd rather them learn to sell on a one-on-one conversation than try to pitch
I like
in front of an
that.
audience.
Yeah.
And so now when they get more comfortable, and again, watch this. If you know how many conversations it takes for you to close a sale, like normally if I'm doing like one-on-one sales, I'm about 33% close rate from my audience, like online. Doesn't matter. It's cold. Warm is a little bit higher, but they could be cold or like lukewarm, right? So I know those numbers. Now, once you know those numbers, instead of having 16 appointments on your calendar, you have one conversion event. And so you start speaking one to many instead of one-on-one. And so it starts, number one, save you time. Because on your sales call, you're repeating the same message over and over and over again. And trust and believe, when I first started out, we were doing sales calls. But again, they're very time consuming on your calendar. So when you are ready, like I have people that are financial advisors. They don't have courses. They don't have masterminds. They're selling insurance. But guess what? Every time they get on the phone with a prospect, they're talking about the benefits and they're educating them on why it's important to invest and how to invest. So even having conversations with that industry shows them that you can save more time and have more conversations with leads by doing a one-to-many presentation every single week. And then having the sales call on the end so that you can package something specifically for them.
Nice.
And that's what I try to get people to understand. Like there was a young lady that was teaching people how to sell and buy mobile homes using webinars. Like what? So any industry can benefit. Last year, we built a funnel for a realtor to do a webinar for people that are looking to buy or sell their home. You're having the exact same conversation. Then you do on the back end side, you do a more catered conversation. But this guy's like running webinars and like booking 5 to 10 appointments every single week now.
Love it.
And now he's got a pipeline of people that are looking to buy a house. And just like we were talking about earlier, they might not be ready today or tomorrow, but at least he has a pipeline. So in 6 months, in a year, he has leads.
And that's why fortune's in the follow-up.
Hello. Absolutely.
What systems, one of my favorite ones, and I'll have you share, what are some of the systems that people should have in place before someone hosts a webinar?
The number one system is going to be a CRM system. We want you to be able to collect data from your prospects. We want to make sure that CRM system is able to do email marketing and SMS marketing. Okay. SMS marketing is very, very important when you're doing a webinar because you'll get a higher show rate when you can send out an SMS. We have a tendency to see a lower show rate when you are relying just on email by itself.
Yeah. And
with all the changes with the companies and the phone companies, you can't rely on people seeing your emails these days. Like, I mean, it kind of is what it is. So, I also do campaigns. So via like Facebook Messenger. Now, you can use ManyChat, but our all-in-one CRM still does the exact same thing. So I promote via my personal page, but I also promote on my, I guess they call it business page now.
Mhm.
And then, of course, last but not least, I like to make sure that we are using a webinar platform, especially if we are doing a live presentation. I want to be able to have you come into the room. If we're doing a workshop, we get to have conversations. If it's just a traditional webinar, then it's going to be me speaking and not a lot of back and forth conversation. I typically use webinar platforms where there is no back-to-back conversation. And I intentionally use a webinar platform when I know I'm going to automate that webinar. You only want to automate a webinar when it's actually converting. So June 2025, I did a webinar on a Monday. It converted. I was like, what? One of the best webinars that I had done, right? And I was like, oh my God, I finally have my evergreen webinar. So later on that week, I'm poolside mastermind day with our mastermind. And it's like 7 p.m., like Eastern Standard Time. And I pushed the webinar to go out again. So I'm poolside and I'm getting notifications that people are on my webinar. I said, oh, wait a minute, somebody just purchased my course. So, I was like, oh, mama, I made it. So I've got an automated webinar that now converts into a program. And, again, that's what I call like hashtag sideline money, because I'm a sports mom all day long. Or beach money, whatever you want to call it. But I love to have an entry point to my ecosystem with a low ticket offer, but something that does not require me to work as hard.
Exactly. We're all about leverage here.
Yes. So those are a couple of the platforms that I would say that you need to have in place. And some people use Zoom. I'm cool with Zoom if you're a newbie and you're kind of learning the space. Because when you are developing or you're getting used to doing a webinar, I tell my people to do it in phases. Because that first time, to be honest with you, the first time you do it, it's not even about the content. Right. Truth be told, it's not about the content. It's about you getting used to getting out here and doing your presentation. That's really what it is. The next time is about you getting used to the technology. Because especially if you're a one-woman show or a one-man show, you've got to be able to let people in, mute people, do your presentation. You might be using 1 or 2 screens. And if you are not used to that, it can be overwhelming for some people.
Oh, yeah.
Mind you, I've yet to talk to you about your presentation. Right. And you still have to do the presentation. It's really, once you get into the third time of
letting
doing
people in and doing, oh my God.
That's when you start to practice the actual presentation. Right. And so that goes back to the point of the fact that you have to do it over and over and over again. Because truth be told, I tell my people, when you start, right, the first time you do it, I want you to get through the content. I want you to feel comfortable delivering your content. But as you continue to do it, every time I want you to focus on one aspect of the presentation. So the first time might be your close, because I want you to nail your close. Don't run through your close. I want you to nail your close. You can run through content, but nail that close. The next time you come back, you're going to nail the close, but then you're going to get better at delivering your content.
That's good, because I remember this one guy, he was great, but the close, he went too fast.
You know what I mean? And that's why I say every time you do it, pick a spot where you're going to concentrate in. Right. So by number 4 or 5, you might be perfecting how you tell your story and introduce yourself. And now once you fix that, it's going to flow, because you already know how you want to close. You already know what you're going to say. You already know your content. You might have come back and added some things or deleted some things based on, this is optimizing, based on the energy and the engagement from your previous webinars. I'm giving all the secrets. Y'all better be taking notes.
Yeah, take that notes, guys. You need to make sure that you have a good offer, first of all.
That too. Then there's that. And that's kind of where, before it's even, you start building it out. Like, we like to make sure that your offer makes sense and that your offer is irresistible.
What makes an irresistible offer?
Something that makes people say, oh my God, if she closes this webinar right now and I don't get it, I feel like I'm missing out on the world.
Mm-hmm.
When I did my
Oh,
pitch the other day and they looked at the page, it was like, yo, we're getting all of this? Yeah. And realistically, I'm like, I could literally sell this for, let's just say 10 grand, because I built webinars for 10 grand, right? I built out funnels for 10 grand. And so I did a coupon code for them for everyone that purchased before the webinar closed. And I set the coupon code up in the CRM to expire at midnight. So I'm not sitting here, I'm not giving you no false scarcity, baby. The price changes at midnight. It's either you get in now or you have to wait until we do the, the presentation or the training again. And so we gave away so many bonuses, so much in the curriculum, but it also we added in things that solves future problems that I know that they're going to have.
mm.
And then sometimes the offer, it could be like one or two things that's worth the price all by itself. And everything else is just a bonus.
Nice.
Everything else is just a bonus. So that's what makes it irresistible.
Nice. How do you think, how does once someone gets that, how do they get your help? Like, oh man, I want to do a webinar, but I want to make sure that it's, going to be converting, and like, how do you help people?
So a couple of ways that we help people. So I don't teach like webinar content development live anymore. You can go purchase the course and it'll teach you how to build your actual presentation. So what we do now is, because we know that our system, we actually give you a system. So our system has converted. Our system has converted for clients. I have the numbers that says our registration page converts between 28 and 32%. That's really good for cold traffic.
High. Yeah.
For cold traffic. So if I give you the page that converts at 26 to 32%, and I'm going to give you the formula on how to create the copy for that page, we are literally setting you up to build your webinar in the weekend.
Nice.
And so what I did, so now what we do is within a 2-day, 5 hours, they literally come in and they can build out their webinar an entire weekend. By the time they finish, they've already started reaching out to their ideal client and getting registrations for their next webinar. So they can have a webinar within 2 weeks of completing our 2-day event.
Amazing. Awesome. How long does you think that it takes someone to like really practice and get good at doing webinars?
It's going to depend on the person. It's really going to depend on the person. And a lot of times I try to work with people that are more experienced in their field, right? So when you're more experienced in your field, you're knowledgeable about your content. So teaching the content is going to be the easy part. Right. And that's what's going to resonate with the audience anyway. Most people that actually purchase from me, they tell me that you're easy to trust because when you talk like you know what you're talking about. I said, well, thank you. I mean, I've only been doing it for 14 years.
Yeah, right.
15 this year.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's important it's easier for people who are coming from, even if they're coming from a corporate space or something like that, even if they're transitioning into the entrepreneurship world, but they're bringing 15 years of experience, 6 or 7 years of experience. And all we're doing is teaching them how to put that message or put together the message where it's a 60 or 90-minute presentation that's powerful, that's going to speak to the emotional buyer, that's going to speak to the logical buyer, that's going to put, content that's going to build the know, like, and trust. Like people, it's not just about putting together some words on a slide. It's actually a process and a strategy and a framework to putting together an actual presentation that converts.
Nice. I think also with structure, of course, anyone can be super successful at this, but they also have to have, or maybe you could tell me, what kind of mindset shift do they need to make in their in their own selves to present this way to see actual results.
So, and that's a good one because everything starts here. Everything starts here. So, I would say it's the words that we choose to use.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to paint a positive picture. So just like this week I came into this week and I basically said, I'm claiming a $25,000 week, period. I can't tell you where it's going to come from, when it's going to happen, but I'm claiming a $25,000 week, and there's still time in the week. Okay. And it's the same thing. And so when you are doing your webinar, it's a matter of, I'm here to change people's lives. I'm doing this presentation. My goal is to change and impact people's life. This is what you should be saying to yourself, right? So for example, and also it's just the positive stuff that you say to yourself, like regardless of the results of this next 60 minutes, as long as I impact one life at a time, I've done my job for tonight. I've done my job for today. So mind you, I just told you I've been doing this for what? For 12 years? Webinars for 12 years. I did a webinar this week and forgot to record it. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've been doing it a long time. Right. So I didn't get frantic. I didn't allow it to shift my energy, because I'm telling you, when you are in that space and in a moment your energy shifts, your sales go out the door. And I told everybody, I said, guess what, y'all? I ain't even hit the record button. So you definitely ain't getting no replay now. Right. If you thought that there was going to be a replay, you definitely not getting one now, because I didn't hit the record button. But I'm the type of person that I make light out of my mistakes as well. And a lot of times we can be super hard on ourselves when we are starting out something. So I've seen people that buckle when the presentation doesn't come up. They buckle when the Zoom, like I've had somebody come in and start writing on my screen in the middle of the presentation. And I've heard people talk about being Zoom bombed or whatever it is. But it was until somebody started writing on my screen and I was like, yo, are you serious? But you can't allow that to take you out of your zone. You deal with it and you keep going. You delete it and you keep going. And if you do have the capacity to hire people, then of course, like my team member is on, so she helps let people in. She helps keep track of who's been there, especially when we're not using a webinar platform. I like to know who stays the whole time, because I always give a bonus to stay to the end. And it increases how many people actually stay to the end. You want them to see your actual offer. So I think everything starts with what you're telling yourself about the webinar. Because if you go into it second guessing that this is not going to work, that's the results that you're really going to get. And that's in business overall.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Events happen. It's how you react that equals your outcomes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's for any type of event. That's for your webinars, your live events. I mean, trust and believe, like,
let's just roll with it.
You have to, like, especially if you want to be in this space and stay in this space, stuff is going to happen. People are not going to show. So you gotta learn to roll with it.
And you're way ahead of most people by actually taking action.
Hello. And because the thing about it too is a lot of people that are struggling in their business right now are not having enough sales conversations. Right. They're not putting their offer in front of enough people.
Make more offers, baby. Make more offers.
I'm like, how many times have you invited people to work with you? Mm-hmm. Well, okay, well, there's your problem.
Right. And they're afraid that you send an email.
Yeah, there's your number one problem. Make more offers.
I can't send emails every day. What are you talking about? Yeah, you want to get paid every day?
I mean, you got to start somewhere.
Oh, this is such a powerful conversation. And thank you so much for being here. If today's episode, you guys, if it shifted you how you think about webinars and you're ready to stop guessing and start building webinars that actually work, make sure you connect with DeKesha here. You'll find the links in the description below. and resources, to connect with her. The webinar queen has said it here. Take the next step in building your events here. If your goals in 2026 is to have more conversations, make more offers, webinars are the best way to go. Whether you're selling a product, your own services, your own consulting, your own SaaS business here on SaaS Business Secrets here. I highly recommend that you start now. Start today. There's no better time to start, because remember, one webinar isn't just a strategy. Consistency is. All right. Any last words, DeKesha?
So one of the things that I will say is I will give your audience a challenge, right? And so I tell this to all my people that are looking to generate revenue immediately in your business. I encourage you to go out and do 8 webinars in the next 30 days. Remember, I told you that's how I got started, and I closed $15,000 in 21 days. So I challenge you to go out and do 8 webinars in 30 days and see how it shifts your business. My name is DeKesha Williams, the webinar strategist. Be passionate, be purposeful, but more importantly, be profitable. Thank you so much, Stacia.
Thanks, you guys. Take a second to subscribe, leave a review, comment below what you thought about this, any ahas, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Much love and aloha.